What's going on, everyone? I'm Hot Mike Chance from Over the Top with Chad and Tony, and today we're going to be talking about The Strangers Chapter 2. Welcome back to the channel, and this past Thursday, my wife and I, we were able to go watch The Strangers Chapter 2. I believe it was the first showing at our theater, and this was the very most anticipated movie of the year for me. I enjoyed this franchise. I was a fan of Chapter 1. I was a fan of Strangers Pray at Night, which I believe is one of the best horror movies of the 2000s, 2010s. Since 2000, it is one of the best horror movies that we've gotten. And it has probably the best scene in it from a cinematography standpoint, from a score, the lighting, and that's the pool scene that's in Pray at Night. And then, of course, the original Strangers, I enjoyed it a lot. And I've really been looking forward, my wife and I both have been looking forward to this coming out. When I found out that they did Chapter 1, I knew it was going to be a trilogy. And I've been waiting for Chapter 2. Chapter 1 was one of the top 3 movies for me last year. And this one, it has actually fell first or second for me this year, and I really enjoyed. I think Rennie Harlan done a great job with the direction on this. The writers, I think that there's a few things that will make you kind of go, what's going on. At one point, you might wonder, am I watching The Revenant or am I watching The Strangers? I don't know. And I'm gonna keep this review spoiler free. I'm not going to give too much out, but just kind of let you know what my thoughts were and how I feel about this franchise, and specifically this film in the franchise. I think that Madelaine Petsch as Maya, she was a survivor from Chapter 1, and we get her again in this film. It is an intense, drama-filled, kept me on the edge of my seat the whole time. A lot of times whenever I go to movies, I will kind of look at my phone or check the time or just see, I like to see how long the movie is before I go in, and then try to see, check my phone and see about how long we are into the movie. And I didn't do that at all with this. I didn't pull the phone out. I didn't check the time. I was invested in this film, and just it kept my attention the whole time. There was always something going on, and I know that this film has gotten a lot of hate from many of the YouTube film critics that I respect and I enjoy watching and enjoy listening to their opinion. But I just don't understand how a person can be a horror fan and not like this film. This is everything that you would want in a horror movie. Now, I understand there might not be as many graphic kills, even that we've seen in the past in this franchise. If you look at classics like Halloween, which I'm not comparing this to Halloween, I'm just saying from a gore level, or even Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they didn't have to have a whole lot of craziness going on. But there are those moments in this film, and I think that it does a good job of keeping you wondering about who might be involved. And I know that one of the main things that people are complaining about with this film is that it's called The Strangers, and we get the backstory to kind of how a couple of these characters came about, and we get a backstory on the strangers in this. And I don't think that a lot of people like that, because it is called The Strangers, and I understand that viewpoint. But I, for one, enjoy getting the behind the scenes backstory to what's going on in this film and what's going on in this franchise. And I think that they do a great job of explaining some of that stuff. I would highly recommend going and seeing this. If you don't want to go see it in theaters because Chapter 1 left a bad taste, I would definitely check it out whenever it hits streaming. For me, we have the Regal movie passes, and it was a no-brainer for me to go check it out for $1. You know, I enjoyed it. I do not see the hate in it. I enjoyed chapter 1. I've enjoyed this whole reboot, this whole franchise, and I'm really looking forward to chapter 3. If you go see it in theaters or whenever you watch it, watch through the credits. That's all I'm gonna say on there. Just watch through the credits, and I think it's just a good film. One of my top films of the year. Madelaine Petsch done a phenomenal job. All the cast, I think, done a good job, and then the writers, directors, the director and writers, they kind of just keep you on the edge of your seat. You don't really know who you can trust, who you can't trust in this film. So I'm really looking forward to seeing everything get wrapped up in chapter 3. That's the spoiler-free review for me. I don't want to give too much away, just kind of want to let y'all know what my thoughts were on it, and I really enjoyed it. Out of 5 stars, I gave it, I believe, a 4 on my letterbox. So I really enjoyed this and would highly recommend you go check it out in theaters, but I understand if you want to wait for it to come out on a streaming platform or physical media. That's all I got for today. Until next time, I'm keeping the mic hot. I'm Hot Mike Chance from Over the Top with Chad and Tony. Check out the podcast in the description. Follow all the guys from Over the Top down there, and we'll catch you on the next one.